Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we got a bunch of well, not a bunch of things, but we got a couple of good things to talk about. Especially we have guiltygearstrive and the leaked character, unfortunately, got revealed finally at the Game Awards today, and it was Elphelt. Character overall got a huge design overall, I guess, which a lot of people seem to dislike. I mean, no, let me correct that. Crazy pilled schizo posting people are really hating on the design of this character for the simple reason that her good values have been covered. That's pretty insane. Anyways, I hope we don't have another Bridget situation. Please, let's not have people go crazy and start posting things that don't make sense, because it's already kind of happening and it shouldn't go further than that. Regardless, she's been drastically changed visually, like I said, and gameplay wise. And honestly, I really like the new design. I think her new design looks really good. And now she's like a death metal artist. It's crazy. She's like an idol death metal artist, which is pretty cool, I would say. Also, not gonna lie, I feel like I'm the only one noticing it, but yo, she's been stealing Ram's hamburgers or something. Like, what's going on there? There's already a starter guide for her. Obviously, she received the Strive treatment. I mean, if you like a character in Guilty Gear and they show up in Strive, at this point, it's been 2 years and a half. You have to already know what's going on. They are going to get gutted, but you have to hope that they get gutted in a way that is interesting. So the character has 4 moves, 4 specials, which is the same as every other character. Like that, every character is like 4 moves, but the 4 moves themselves have a lot of them going into them, right? There's a lot of things that's going on for each of these moves. The most important thing to know is that she has a Rekka. And the thing that's interesting about her Rekka is that it looks exactly like the animation looks very similar to a character from BlazBlue, which is called Noelle. Noelle it wasn't a special, it was just her drive button. Every character in BlazBlue had a special button. They would just press the drive button and it would do something for them. For Noelle, it was basically like a auto combo. So she would just press it and she had options into it. I remember I tried Noelle once. I was just mashing on it and I was pressing down, back, forward, up, down, back, forward, and she was doing all kinds of things, right? So now she has a Rekka and it's called Chained Lollipop. It does a whole lot of things for her. It looks crazy. She has a ton of options off of it. She has all these tools. She looks pretty cool. She looks pretty crazy. I think she looks pretty catchy overall. With that being said, let's go and see the patch 1.33. So this patch has a few things. It's pretty interesting, right? They have adjusted a bunch of things because people have been talking ever since they started the season 3. So there's been some buffs, there's been some nerfs, and also some changes with the base game mechanics again. Once again, it's Arcs' balance, man. They do weird shit and we don't know why they do it sometimes. Okay, so overall for the White Assault, what is important to know is that a general change is that they take less burst gauge from the opponent whenever they connect, which is, I don't really agree with that change, because I think it would just be better for White Assault to not take burst at all. But anyways, there's been a lot of changes. I'm not really going to cover all of them. Yada yada yada. Red Assault is harder to use in combos. There's more damage scaling that comes with it. Blue White Assault has an extended length with the God Crush, so people can do more crazy stuff. White Wild Assault covers more of a longer distance, so it's better in neutral. Deflect Shield is better now because the pushback is universal. There's no longer like, oh my god, a jab doesn't get pushed that far. There's no longer things like that. There's been some changes, some buffs and nerfs. I think some that are interesting is that Axel and Potemkin have new moves. First of all, one that is pretty cool for me because I play fast, even though I don't really play this game that much anymore. Oh my god, and then there's Grand next around the corner, man. I'm not going to be able to play this game that much, but Now Faust, whenever he uses the item stock on the banana or the donut, he's just going to eat them right away. So that means he's going to heal as soon as he gets them. On top of that, now whenever he uses the item stock, you can actually see the item that is stocked with an icon. Thank goodness. Oh my god. How many times do we have to ask for icons in this game? Faust should not even be the only character that has an icon, because there are other characters like Sin. Whenever he eats the food, he needs to have icons so you know what buffs he has. Happy Chaos got nerfed. Finally, a flat nerf. No adjustment, just a nerf. My goodness, this is crazy. People are celebrating, fireworks are being shot. It's insane. So what they did is apparently they made it so his concentration, he loses it more when using steady aim. So he stands, he uses more concentration when shooting now, which is huge. I vouch for something like this, or for the fact that he could lose an extra bullet whenever he fires when using the stance, because it's a powered up shot. So they did that, but they also reduced the God Crush, the length of the God Crush animation whenever he shoots you, which is also really good. So he uses more concentration and there's less time on God Crush, it is amazing. These changes, we should approve all of these. Apparently Testament was not in a good place in the previous patch, and now they buffed Testament again. People are going to test that out. Baiken also was not that much in a good place. They buffed Baiken as well from what I've heard. Yeah, lots of interesting changes overall. So I think people would be pretty interested in looking into all of this stuff. Now there's one last thing to talk about, which is 3v3. This is a new game mode that they are adding, and it seems to be pretty interesting. There's not a lot of detail on it yet. All we really have is a tweet basically. So they say, look at this. They said, we have just revealed an upcoming online versus mode for 2024, team of 3, pitting 2 teams of 3 players into a single match. Please look forward to the future announcements. So this is very, very, very interesting. I do not know how they are going to set it up. We do not know if it's like a tag mode or if it's like a team mode style, KOF, you know, KOF style, where you have people already set up in a certain way. Next player goes after the first player dies or whatever, right? We don't know if it's like that. Or it seems to be even crazier than this, because we never see the characters go away whenever they reveal this in the trailer. They're still on the screen. Are they just going to duke it out right away? Just six people on the screen just fighting each other? How are they going to handle that? What about the wall bricks? What about the size of the screen? What about even the size of the stages? Because the stages in guiltygearstrive are pretty small. Like, how is this going to work? Is this going to be a whole mess? I mean, it doesn't matter. It sounds fun. And I have vouched for things like this for so long for fighting games. People are always saying things like we need more single player content in fighting games. I don't really agree with that statement. I agree partially, but not really. Because whenever people say we need more single player content for fighting games, the problem is it's just like feature creep. It's just like, oh, we're going to have a survival mode, oh, we're gonna have a story mode, or we're gonna have an arcade mode, or we're gonna have a time attack mode. Nobody cares about those things. You need modes that are interesting and engaging. A mode like this is very engaging already. Like, the idea of it is super engaging, because you can just bring your friends and you can play and you can just beat each other up on the same screen. It sounds like a lot of fun. It's just something that I think more fighting games should do. I'm actually surprised, because fighting games do not exploit the other genres that they have within themselves, right? Like, how come there's never like a tag mode for some games? Like, they can make Street Fighter 6, for example, and be like, okay, we have a tag mode in Street Fighter 6, we have a KOF style game mode, team game mode if you want. We also have like a Smash Brothers type of arena platformers or something like that, you know, within the same game. They can have all of that, but they never do things like that. Instead, they're focusing on the wrong things, and things that are not engaging for most people. So to me, this sounds like a hold up, regardless of how it is, regardless of how they set it up. Another multiplayer game mode sounds like a lot of fun to me. Single player content, I love single player content in fighting games, but I like meaningful single player content mostly. Like whenever there's like single player content, it's like survival mode, I never touch that shit. I have no care for any of that. I have zero care for arcade modes even these days. I feel like arcade modes are just there because arcades, but who gives a fuck? Really, who cares about arcade modes? The thing that they've been doing well with arcade mode recently though is that they're adding bosses. So the super Nago fight, that sounds like that's really fun. That's really good idea, right? But outside of that, who cares of an arcade mode? Really, nobody. It's unimportant. So I'm really hyped to see what they're going to do with this team of 3 mode. It sounds really fun. It reminds me of League of Legends, right? In League of Legends, they are adding more and more multiplayer game modes. Like they have TFT. People really love TFT. People may not like League of Legends itself, but they love TFT, right? Some people like AREM. Some people like the new upcoming 2v2v2 game mode that is going to be added as well. So ideas like that are way more valuable than just random single player content. It's way better. So if they add even multiplayer or single player content, it has to be engaging and it has to be meaningful, and I like this idea a lot. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been rambling a lot. My throat is starting to get sore. But yeah, the Game Awards was it was meh, but kind of fun too. At least I've seen one other game that I'm kind of interested in, maybe. But man, 2024 looks green. I hope Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising and Relink, maybe, because I'm still not sure if I'm going to buy Relink, but I hope these games save us, man. I hope they save us. Please, side games, save us. Anyways, that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.